Welcome to Worth Following Weekly, 5 minutes of mentoring on the best practices that leaders of all levels use to inspire, engage, and guide the people around them. I'm your host, lead consultant for Roots to Sky Consulting, Mark Legvold. One of the biggest issues that face leaders at all levels is building trust. Trust is the currency of leadership. If you don't have it, you won't have followers. If you do have it, people will follow you wholeheartedly. There was once a manager who had taken on a pretty large organization. 75 people worked for them, serving over 300 people on an ongoing basis. Food service, custodial, training, operations, and maintenance all fell into this person's shoulders. As you'd expect, the feeling of being overwhelmed was ongoing, and eventually it took its toll, shackling the manager to their desk for hours during the day, whittling away at the constant need to feed the administrative and bureaucratic beasts that all managers face. As the manager toiled, the people they led all wondered what their leader was up to. Emails went unanswered, and when they were short and to the point. Requests for meetings to ask for support were put off for weeks. Appraisals and feedback were often generic and at best average. The culture of the workplace began to suffer. Questions like, "What do they do all day?" began to be whispered. When the leader did venture out, they were usually on a mission to put out a fire or tersely delegate a task. Both the leader and the followers began to distrust one another. Soon the leader's annual feedback came due, and the feedback from the field was pretty brutal. Doesn't care, never around, can't trust them, avoids problems, can't lead were all a part of the feedback that the leader received. The leader had a choice to make, and thankfully, they had a wise mentor who helped. "Start with your steps," the mentor said. "Get up and just walk. Your job is to take care of people, and that starts with hearing them. But it also means you communicate with them what you're doing to help and keep the place functioning. So make a point to check in with your folks frequently. It will build trust." Making the choice to do something different when you've been leading a certain way is pretty scary. It takes courage and a strong degree of emotional intelligence to guide yourself and admit you need to do something different. Our leader here took some time to reflect and decided to venture out of their office and just check in with folks. But they wanted to make sure there was a purpose. The leader decided that they would search for things to check in with their people about, specific issues, challenges, or triumphs that their people had experienced. That would be the spark for the purposeful touch points. Getting out from the office and onto the production floor became a habit. The leader got an email or a message about an important issue a department was having. They soon developed the habit of visiting the area first to gather information. And normally, they were able to help solve the problem on the spot faster than they used to when they were shackled to their desk. The leader also began seeing that their people were more confident in voicing their challenges and just talking through the solutions during the visits. This built everyone's confidence in each other. Program managers were more empowered to make decisions because they felt trusted, and the leader was better able to trust their people because they knew them. They knew their style and their capabilities. Because of this, the leader was more able to focus on the big issues and run them to ground. The leader soon built their reputation as a problem solver. Following up is not only about administrative completion, it's about building relational reliance on each other. And as a leader who's worth following, that is built on trust building behaviors. Being a steady and consistent leader, having a relationship with each of the people you lead, and communicating constantly about not only their challenges, but yours as well. Building organizational understandings are some of the key trust building behaviors for leaders. So here's a challenge for those of you who struggle with follow up. Look at your organization and the people you work with. Start looking for a good reason to touch base with each one, and then break the shackle of your management mindset. Go to them and talk about it. Make sure to bring a notebook and write yourself some reminders about where the folks are succeeding and struggling so that you can revisit with them in the future. Increase the number of specific touch points you make each week, and you'll notice that soon You'll be a leader that people see as someone worth following. Next week, we'll learn a little bit about the difference between following up and following through, and the importance of following through after any especially difficult situation a leader who's worth following faces.